I'm going to start quiet and get louder, so if it threatens to deafen everyone, maybe. Hi, it's nice to be here. I'm going to start off with 3 short attempts, which is a kind of iteration of some work I was doing for quite a while, which is basically me trying to speak with birds, like birds, and about birds, kind of simultaneously. And it's about sort of catching myself in a moment of being under pressure, and maybe making that an audible thing. So, yes. And I've not ever found a fully satisfactory way of performing this live, so this time I'm just going to kind of freestyle it, see how that goes. So, I'm going to start off with a thrush, a missile thrush, move on to a blackbird, and then I think end with a missile thrush before moving on to my other text. Hollywood, things down. Hollywood. Getting on the look to. Getting on to. Wanna get low. Here it comes on. Getting on to. Wanna what? Get on it. Tell. Whoa, I love it, I love it. Ooh, it's got a what are the what a love about it. You know when you find it, getting it, getting it, got a grip. Ooh, looking. One. Got a bit of table. Ooh, quite a bit. Wait, what am I going to get this? Getting it. Ooh, got a chicken. Ooh, falling for it. Right like that. What? Wobbler, table, table. Look at this lovely little in that tail. Blackbird. It starts. Try to starts. No, it's pair one a sleepy bit. Tee tee ta ta. Felt it starty bit. Freer, sweepy bit. It's liquid speaking, and then a little bit that goes sweet, same thing, right, sweet, chip, and then an end bit that goes up. Little bit, start the same. Dash, and it goes a little tricky bit. Starts the same, goes up, lovely, like a cackle. Starts the same, goes up, and then go down. Starts the same bit, but goes up, so lens and go like it's staying up, and then prompting, and then goes shake, no, get a bit weird, like a sort of whistle with a bit, fall down, falling down, stop. Freer, up, freer, bit, carrot, wibbly, blah, 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 blah. It goes 3 bits in there. Oh, freer, chippy, with a for shit, rip, little song, rip down, with little sound, high bit, cha. Ooh, try that, lovely, with the tail, with the end, wistful. Oh, freer, with a bit, top, with a top of a turn in the same notes, with a dash, with a fresh, with a sudden bit and a flash, cha, woo, kind of laugh a bit. Brown, bouncy, birdie with a white, birdie with a flight, down, so we'll go with a iffy, turning a note, yes, thinking about it, and pushing it. Frown, his starts like a repeat, and then his beat, and then turns it into little trinket, saying, bit freer, but going down and start, ow, like a question, and then a little kind of gliss. Creature, it kind of goes up, witcher, and then it goes falling down, ha. Starts lower, and then it goes up with a stop with a pew pew, yeah, quite powerful, that bit. The shock we're getting in that flourishy and the schmaltzy, oh, great, east. Just return to the thrush before we move on. I think the cue, is it the cue that's making that crazy coo? Yeah. It shocked me. Hold on, wait a second. Hold on, look. Getting on the look to, getting on the look to, getting on to. He's one too. Oh, I love it, want to get. Here it comes one. Get a little tail. Hold up, got a little tail. What do I want? Get a little tail. Oh, I love it. Get in there. Oh, I love it. Oh, he's got a lovely. Oh, I love it. Oh, he's got a lovely. What I give about? Oh, he's got a lovely. You know what I find it? What I love about? What? Get in there. Quick one. You know what I find? Love it. Oh, love it. Get it. You know what I find? Whip one. Get in there. Whip one. Get with it. Got a bit. Quick one. Table. Oh, look at it. It's got a window when they get like this. Woo, get in. Look at me. Get on the book one. Got a whip one. Got a little tail. Shaking it. Whoa, got a tail. Spray. Oh, here he comes. Got a move. Look at this leopard again. Get in. What happened to it? Get in the tail. Whoa, got a paper. Got a paper. Oh, got a chicken it. Got a little. Got a fall for it. Go like that. Got a little. Look at this lovely little. Wobbler, foxglove, table. Look at this. Oh, 3. Look at this lovely little. I got a bit of quite quick one. Hey, that's the bird attempts for tonight. So I'm just going to move on to a text. It's kind of a work in progress, and it probably will always be. It's I've called it Blue Screen. It's a play in proposal form, and it's, I suppose, partly a runoff of my research that I'm doing at the moment. It's almost like the space where the research sort of really happens, and it's also me trying to explain to myself what I think. So we'll see how it goes. Prologue. No matter how I find it, no. Appearing as it did, momentarily female, almost legible, a bit legible, a slight sensation, it left nothing. But everything tactile was straining toward the opening the glass. Part 1. A news report. Changing colours seen in a window turn an apartment into a shrine. To the uninitiated, it seems nothing more than a blur of discoloration, taking on different hues depending on the viewing angle. For example, from the right, the streaks have a reddish-orange tint, from the front white and brown, and from the left greyish-green with a flame-shaped trace of red in the lower left corner. The son-in-law said the window began changing colours last Tuesday or Wednesday. He said his wife thought her mother had put a picture in the window and it had somehow left an impression in the glass. But when she learnt that nothing had been put in the window, she began thinking. And she began sharing those thoughts with neighbours. The son-in-law said the bishop and all the diocesan priests were on a 3-day retreat and not available for questions. They had left instructions, he said, not to discuss the window. Enter the psychic who is early. painters. The psychic already arrived. The sculptor, the image on the window, the male sculptors, the man with the camera on his helmet, what was not on the window, the visions, or rather the presences, brackets, various items of furniture, the mountaineer. Scene 1, a crowd scene on the pavement outside, barely audible voices. A, it appears. B, dirty green a bit. C, circular, side-on corners with white. D, a crevice. Or A, mottled in the B, mauve. D, reddish. C, beige. B, grey-green. E, a kind of marl. G, I find it breathtaking. B, I want to put my hand on it. So the first part is a recurring vision and a queue of visitors who feel moved to touch it. Note, the idea of the window is nice. I mean, it's as if the window were the place where all colour is, presenting itself as a description, or rather an attempt to be a picture. No, it's a screen. I mean, it's literally a window onto what? A room, or depending on your position, everything that is not the room. But it's misting. From the pavement below, it appears covered with a movement, making the colours almost legible. I mean, it's literally a window into what? A room. Part 2. Scene 1, inside. This part consists of a series of episodes in which the psychic is visited by the spirits of objects. Objects that are mundane and yet oddly complex, say items of furniture, modular storage units, racks. The apparatus of modern retail and display systems for the home, the two using similar technology and construction techniques. Wall-mounted and freestanding, repeating the fixtures of the department store, the facility for presentation, a way of solving a problem neatly by slotting. The instructions are so clear, so transparent, each word fits perfectly into its slot, with no overshoot, no gapping. It's the system that says, congratulations for your excellent choice. My unique design design comes as standard. But these units are not literally here. Rather, they make their presence felt to the psychic, who passes messages on their behalf. They are persistent but hazy visitations on wheels. Scene 2, in the next room. So this is a disorganized kind of language, or a language that has been disassembled by getting too close to the thing it's trying to describe, too close, being too sympathetic. It has been placed under tension. It has been straining towards something, a desire for physical intimacy with things, wanting to get inside things, on top of things, to look out from where things are. This language is an example of a testing, an approaching, or a seeing of the kind you might ask a mountaineer about, or no, a table, how it got there. And the mountaineer will say, because it's there. In fact, no, a mountain won't fit here. This scene is domestic, I mean it's contained. In fact, the furniture itself presents an impossibility, like a ship in a bottle. We have no idea how it got through the door. This is a song to end part 2, but I haven't written the music yet, so I'm just going to read it. Song of the expanse, song of the container, song of the colour and the opening, song of the object, song of the self. No matter, song of the shelf. What do you say? No matter how it feels, rocky or massive, rickety or very small, touchy or like glass, it's all about examples. Examples, examples. For example, to make the window colours legible would take a mango as an example. For example, say, a mango yellow, a moss green moss. In the window, to make colours like vegetables would take bishops, For example, on vacation, oh, missed. Part 3. This section is interrupted by the psychic who is late. I'm sensing a certain kind of shelving, a perpendicular feeling. I'm sensing a sort of freestanding, and corners arranged to form a framework holding bracketed slats, holding planks flat at eye level, as if to say, look, here might be a place for a figurine, for example, or a dish with a pin in it. It's a gathering formation. Hello, visitation on wheels. I'm sensing rotation, a certain floor-mountedness, a chrome-plated framework, rotary card display facility. With big-time greetings facing outwards. Sized appropriately for landscape also, extra wide for horizons. Which collapses, is stackable and travels quite easily thanks to the padded canvas bag, thanks to the concertina folding mechanism, thanks for the big time holding the rack with a basket and a gap for your hand. Scene 2, a proposal. Words taken from interviews with male sculptors from the 60s in America, who like to think of themselves as workmen. Their words set against sounds created live by a selection of power tools operated by children. Or, the sculptor explaining her methods. She speaks very literally, by her own admission, rejects all figures of speech. She's like a piano without its notes, but the hulk is still there. The sculptor explaining her relationship with gravity. It's a material for her. It's about huge hulking things becoming airborne, like, say, whole landscapes flung upwards. The sculptor explaining her rejection of any form of exemplification whatsoever, forgetting that the language of her statement requires, even in the negative, an example, for example, a figurine. To stand for a dandyish concern, to place delicate and pretentious objects just so on rock faces, jagged outcrops, shelves. I don't believe in small figurines holding tiny baskets of fruit, she says. I don't believe in milkmaids and china dormice arranged on the edges of cliffs as if the landscape were merely a backdrop for your ornamental tendency. This section, to be interrupted by a news flash. Is that a defective airbag? No, it's someone inflating a dinghy at 40 miles per hour. Maybe they feared missing the boat, but these crazy holidaymakers have sparked a police hunt after inflating a rubber dinghy as they drove along at 40 miles per hour. Pedestrians were horrified to see the passenger in the VW Golf wind down the window, hang the dinghy outside and then start blowing it up as the driver cruised along a busy main road. The dinghy was inflated to full capacity before it began flapping in the wind and narrowly missed people on the pavement. A motorcyclist was so shocked he recorded the incident along the A5 in Llangollen near Wrexham, North Wales, using a video camera attached to his helmet. The man, a 52-year-old retired policeman from Staffordshire, says, I was utterly shocked at what I saw and couldn't believe how irresponsible the people were. When I saw the car, I couldn't resist following it. I couldn't believe my eyes. At first, from a distance, I thought it was a parasol, but as it got larger, I realised it was a dinghy. There were a couple of points where they passed pedestrians and they came close to knocking them over. On this occasion, no one was hurt, but it could have been much, much worse. Part 4. Possibly, hopefully, the final epiphanic scene, with commentary from the sculptor, whose sentences are too wide to fit on the page. She says, The physicality of the world is extraordinarily potent, but how does it fit into looking at something that's in the present tense? It's anything that can move, anything that isn't fixed down, that isn't the land, so it's a condition extending beyond intimate that gets flung about like weather. The solution's expanding to the idea that something so incredibly permanent and ferocious is crushable in some way too, like plaster that can hold things, trap things in place, and certainly not trying to make them on anything like the physical scale of a mountain or a vast storm cloud. It's more like a very physical pushing or shoving and taking that feeling to functional places like builders' merchants. So the bigness isn't a showing off, it's a belief in ceilings, roofing, and putting the sky in its entirety into a room and making it viewable from a single place, like a way to make walking unnecessary and moving unnecessary and all those other positions completely unnecessary. And all of this is pointing to the final image, all characters, all objects pointing to this. It is the mountaineer kicking a big stone kicking a big statement for a big man, a big statement for a big theme, a big stone for a big theme for a big man, for a big statement for a big time, for a big man, for a big stone, for a big shelf, for a big theme, for a big shelf, for a big job, a big man, for a big shelf, for a big car, for a big boot, for a big shelf, for a big man, for a bag of screws. A big mountain for a big time, that's a big statement, that's a big car, for a big time man in a floral shirt with the tiny flower on the pocket flap. Thanks.